See this guy here? This isn't his supermodel. That guy's over there.
It's too fast though. The color.
Arrest me red, they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get followed just because. Anyway, we just did oil change and a service, and brought to his attention that his 200 horsepower is eating another tire. And yeah, we'll be seeing him again real soon if he doesn't go to jail. Well, welcome back, guys, and welcome to Tech Talk number 7. Been getting a lot of really awesome feedback, and I'm going to do a little talk today about dirt. This is my pet peeve, and everyone who knows me really well knows that I'll bang this one really hard. I'm doing a set of fork seals right now, and it makes me think. Number one reason we do any kind of service on a motorcycle at all, period, end of story, is dirt. You clean your air filter because it's dirty. You change your oil because it got dirty. So wear and tear on a motorcycle, be it seals wearing out, chain wearing out, anything, it has to do with dirt. And the first thing you do to maintain your motorcycle is clean it. I'm not talking about polishing it within an inch of its life with 40 coats of carnauba, which is totally cool, and I think that looks good too. But I'm just talking about getting this stuff off your bike. The reason I'm doing these fork seals right now is almost all dirt bike applications and street bikes suffer fork seal failures. And they suffer those failures because of wear. And the harsher the environment, the more wear that occurs. Sometimes it's just a matter of dirt gets stuck inside the fork seal, and you can just clean it out and it'll correct the problem. But sometimes on a road bike, you'll get a bug and the bug will hit. The fork will get dried, and it's so hard that it will actually cut a fork seal. Had you cleaned it off or inspected your fork, you could have avoided that problem altogether. It will happen inevitably. Every time the fork travels up and down, it will carry, if you're riding in the rain, it'll carry dirt past. That dirt will wear the seals out. Now, seals wear. Everyone says that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to replace them. But you can make them last 2 to 3 times longer by making sure that your fork tubes are clean. I'm not talking about while you're riding. I'm talking about before it gets dry when you come home. Clean your bike after you've ridden it, not before you go for a ride a week later. It's a really good thing you can do for your motorcycle. So I'm going to just keep going on about that. Is if you can keep your motorcycle clean, keep all the surfaces clean. It's a great way to inspect things. Make sure that all your bolts are still there. Make sure that there isn't anything going wrong. That little walk around you do on your bike before you get on it would be a really good thing. And washing it is a great way to get in there and see everything. You're methodically going up and down, making sure everything, you go, oh, I'm washing. Oh, look, there's something going wrong here. So, big hint, keep your bike clean. It will probably cost a lot less money to have it repaired if you do. Okay, so we reached the interesting bike part of our video here. We're working on something that looks, has the paint job of a Cadillac and even the name. It's a Honda. The CTX 700. It is rumored that it has a lot in common with the car, including that the pistons are right out of a Honda model by displacement and size. 1/2 of a Honda Fit. It's interesting that it has only one throttle body for a twin. It's got a Siamese intake. It is really easy to service. The spark plugs are easy to get to. The oil filter is easy to get to. Straight up chain drive. If you've seen one of the recent Fortnite videos where Ryan makes fun of the Honda Ascot, it's kind of like the modern version of the Honda Ascot. It doesn't really know what it is. It's kind of like a cruiser. It's kind of got sport wheels and sport tires. It's got decent brakes, ABS, and it's a completely funky styling. Typical of Honda is they just stretch the envelope. They just say, hey, let's try this, or let's do this because we can. Doesn't necessarily make any sense, or even if they should have done it. Kind of like their NR 750, my favorite bike of all time. It has actual oval pistons in it, so that it has the firing pattern of a V8. And they did that to try and get it into MotoGP as a 4-stroke. never really was competitive, never really worked. They spent a lot of money. It was a very expensive bike, $75,000 American when they were released. They only put 500 of them out there, and still super cool. Is this cool? Well, that's up to your impression of what cool is, but it works. It works well. It just isn't anything. It doesn't know what it is, except it's a motorcycle. Good afternoon. We're changing things up a bit here. We're working with our good friend Alan Belatho. He was a customer of ours at Adrenaline, and I've got to know him over the years, and we have lots of stories, and we do these one-on-ones with him, and I really super enjoy his company. So today we're doing a lot of work to his BMW GSA 800. We've done steering bearings, we're doing tires. He's doing an epic motorcycle ride here, I believe this coming up Sunday. They're going to do a tour of the Pacific Northwest and hit up a whole bunch of aviation motorcycle museums. Man, what a trip. I wish I were going on it, but we're doing Tour Tech real soon, so I gotta count my blessings. We've done rear brakes. He's been hands-on. We're reattaching the fender right now. We've talked about a lot of stuff that I'll be bringing up in our Tech Talk videos, stuff we've talked about before. There you go. I got dirt on my face. I've been working hard getting stuff done. Well, Steph, what do you say? 30 seconds flat?
About that.
Yeah. Battery showed 13 volts. Under load, it went to 2. The battery is completely tanking. We're going to start it one more time here just to confirm. And yeah, so we put a booster pack on it, and that seemed to make it want to do its thing. No, you still have to do that. Yeah. This gentleman needs a new battery. While we're here, we're going to check to see that the bike is actually producing power as well. So we're going to start it. This test is actually best performed with a fully charged battery, but we'll be able to get an indication whether the stator is producing any kind of voltage, and that'll pretty much sum it up. So the moral of the story here is, although the battery showed 12 to 13 volts statically, as soon as we pushed the starter button, the field inside the battery collapsed, went down to 2 volts. So we have a battery that shows voltage but no amperage. So that's why it needs a new battery. Ooh, that's bad. Do it again. No. Not good at all. The voltage regulator. Yeah, that's a big no. That's probably why his battery's tanked. Actually, that was a really good test. The regulator rectifier on a motorcycle is supposed to keep the voltage between 12.5 and 14.5 volts. When you see 18 to 19 volts of charge coming off of a stator, it will absolutely boil the bolts outside of a battery. That's probably why the battery shows no amperage. It's been overcharged for probably quite a while. So I would advise the customer, not only does he need a battery, but he needs a regulator rectifier. And that's what controls and shunts off additional power. Say if you're making extra electricity that you don't need, that's why it's burnt off its heat on the fins of the regulator rectifier. It has to regulate and rectify the power coming from the stator. There you go. Learn something new, and it gives us a good indication of what's going on with his battery. I thought right now would be a fitting time to say my belief is enough is enough. And sometimes when you get more than that, it's not better, it's just too much. Right now it is raining outside, and it's not just dripping, it's dumping. And rain is good, but when you need a regulator to breathe it, that's probably too much. So getting to the actual topic here, Loctite. Loctite is a thing. It's really important that your bolts don't come out of your motorcycle. But if a little drop will keep the bolt in, that is enough. When you pour or paint it onto the bolt so that it's so thick that I can't get that bolt out without wrenching on it real hard, you're damaging your bike. There's a risk that you could actually pull the threads right out of it. So a little drop, just like the seafoam situation, more is not better. It's just more, and it actually is a detriment. So when you use thread locker, and this one's had red, blue, and all kinds of stuff on it, I gotta clean that all off, kind of like a chain. You just don't keep building it on and on and on. We're gonna take that down, get it all nice and clean, and then I'm gonna use a very small drop of Loctite to secure that bolt. For those of you curious as to what I'm gonna use to clean it, I'm gonna use my thread file. It's a really neat thing. It has every different type of pitch thread on it. I looked through my kit. I didn't find a 10 by 1.25, so we're just gonna clean it up with the thread file.
I gave my heart away.